I started even quicker than I thought. I was just fixing up my camera, but hi. Oh, we're a couple of moments early, but that's okay. So we will wait for things. I was actually testing the camera, so when I've come on live, but anyway, that's all good. So, hi. So let me know if you're here. Send me a few hearts and a thumbs up and that sort of thing, and let me know that you're here. Hi, Fiona. It's just so funny. So we'll get started anyway, even though I am a tiny bit early. So I do apologise. Be careful what buttons you press and how quickly you press them or don't press them. So how your success has been hijacked and what to do about it. Thank you for all the hearts. Awesome. What to do about it. Even if you're watching this later, guys, if you're not getting to watch it live, that's fine. You can put comments underneath. You can, hi Colin, you can put a thumbs up, you can put a heart, and let me know what you think after we've had this conversation. And look, thank you so much for watching, even if it is afterwards. That's cool. So I popped a quote in social media the other day, and it was, I got so many private messages around it. I got so much hey, agreeing with it and going, oh my god, yes, or some people not so much agreeing with it. Hey there, how you going? So what the quote was, and I'll just read it: I am not a product of my circumstances, I'm a product of my decisions. So it seemed to have caused a little bit of controversy on the page, and that's where I went, well, if you don't believe that, and if you want to believe something else, that's absolutely fine. But if you know the workings and how things are working, and just pause with me for a little while as I talk to you about it, is your actual success is being hijacked and you don't even realize about it. So I want to dig a little bit deeper around that and shed some light on what's going on and what I mean by that. So I trust that that's going to be, hey Denise, how are you? Good to see you there. Awesome. So the best way I can do it is describe it as an example, that's something that might happen. Because you know when you get stuff, you know that you get it. And sometimes it still doesn't work and you end up going into this loop. So let's say, for example, weight. You want to lose weight or you want to get fit. We know how to do it. Wouldn't you start off well, right, this is the time, I'm going to change it, this is it. And you start off really well and you get some traction on it because you know how to do it. And then something happens, something slides a little bit. Maybe there's been a birthday party you have to go to. Maybe something else like that has happened. And the next thing you know, you're slipping up and you're slipping up. And it slips up. Hey Miriam, hi Lauren. And it slips up another little bit till you go, what the F just happened? How am I back here? And then the weight is coming back on, and shame and guilt, and you don't want to actually tell anyone that you're feeling ashamed. So you put on a brave face of it and your own inner judgment, because inside here, what you're hearing is, now we all know the inner voice. Now if you're a guy, maybe not, and it may be a different word for it, but my inner voice is a bit of a bitch. Let's face it, she's a little bit of a bitch. So what she does is she goes, you know better than that. And in comes the judgment and the shame and the guilt. Hi Kylie, hey Mark. And the shame and the guilt. Give me a little bit of hearts and a bit of thumbs up and let me know that you're watching, guys, that you haven't just accidentally pressed the button like I did at the beginning of this video. Let me know that you're here. Give me a thumbs up and let me know. So we're talking about what it is that's working in the background that's hijacking your success that you don't know. So we talked about, just as an example, weight or fitness, and you know how to do it, but something gets in your way and all of a sudden you spiral down, and the next thing you know, you're in this rotating door, if you like, where you're going in, out, you're on a diet, you're on another diet, you're on another one, and you just keep going like that, and it becomes a never-ending revolving door. And then you start saying to yourself, well, what the hell am I doing wrong? What is it I'm doing wrong? And here's the thing that I really want to share with you. Here's the thing that I want you to know. You're not doing anything wrong. There is nothing wrong with what you're doing. And I know you're going, whoa, what do you mean? Let me just explain a little bit more with you. And please just bear with me and hold and pause that judgment for a little bit. So there's a quote from Aristotle that says, give me the child until he's 7 and I will show you the man or woman. Thanks guys for all the thumbs up and the hearts. I'm loving it. Thank you so much. Hey Brenda, how are you? Awesome. So give me the man, or give me the child till he's 7, and I will show you the man or woman, as we've already said. You see, from 0 to 7, what we are as children is we're actually downloading machines. That's the best way to describe it. Like, we are just downloading machines. We've been plunked into this middle of this place that we've never been before, and we're going, okay, that means that, that means that, this is going here, hey Richard, this is going there, that means that, oh my God, if a voice is raised, that means that, then I'm going to get slapped shortly after that. Or, oh, hang on, if a voice is raised over here, it means it's a happy thing. And we're downloading, we're just like this massive big sponge. Think about learning a new language. So quite often we might say we want to learn Italian or French or something, and yeah, we go about learning it, and a little bit the same as trying to maybe lose some weight or whatever, the momentum dies off. But you take you and you put you in the middle of a foreign country, right in the middle where there is nobody else that speaks English around you, you're going to start learning that language pretty quick. So it's the same with when we come here, as from 0 to 7, our imprint years, it's documented, it's known, it's not just me making stuff up. We're like a big sponge. And here's the thing, once you realize that all of those programs that you learn then, is what actually shapes your life. So during the rest of your life, you've created these filters. So from about 7 or 8, look, it's, you know, it's not an exact science the minute you turn 7 years old. But from about that, 6 to 8 actually probably is. And then you start realizing that those filters, those programs, those things you have absorbed, and depending on the environment you were in, and everyone's different. I'm from a family of 5 girls, and same parents, same house, and we all have a different experience of that. So it depends on a lot of things as to what you've made something mean. But you start with those filters and you go through life, and what we're designed to do is, yeah, that's true, every time the voice is raised, that is true, I do get a slap. Or, oh, yeah, every time that voice is raised, no, it means that we're going out dancing. You start to get those patterns. But here's the thing, guys. We're adults now, right? I guess most of you are adults now. That when you've got to this stage, we're still running on these old programs. We're still, and we're designed to run on those because that's what keeps us safe. And at the very base of everything is survival. So we need to survive. And in order to survive, we need to be safe. So that's same. If I do the same things, even though they may feel uncomfortable, if I do the same things over and over and over again, it keeps me safe. I trust you're getting me so far. Give me a thumbs up or a heart or whatever, and let me know that it's making some sense to you, that you're getting what I'm talking about. So we're designed to actually sit in our comfort zone, and that's a whole other video. But the way our comfort zone is designed, it's like got a top and a bottom and sides to it, that we will only ever go about 10% over it, and we will only go about 10% below it. And then we start to auto-correct and bring ourselves back down in it. Because again, it's safety, and it's coming from this childhood. Hi, Mikey. It's coming from this childhood imprinting that we believe, hey, thank you. I'm getting all the thumbs up. Cool. So when you actually start realizing that, so this comfort zone will pull you back in like an elastic band to keep you in there, because that's where you've been comfortable, that's where you've been safe. The trick is to be able to get outside that and stretch that elastic band just enough that it can't stretch quite back. Now, in order to do that, you've created habits. Remember, from 0 to 7? Hey, Breda. You've made habits from then. So you've been strengthening those habits. You've been putting the myelin, which is around the, we won't go into that, it's all scientific, but you've been putting extra and extra and extra all around those memories and those habits in a way that that elastic band's bloody strong now. You know, the big thick elastic bands you have, rather than those thin ones that you wrap your money in. The big thick ones, so you're stretching and stretching, but it keeps coming back. So we have to design a way. So the very first step is awareness. So now you know that, hang on, I am running some programs that I made up when I was young, because that's how we're all designed. And if that's the case, are they working for me now? Well, if they're not, and I'm not getting the results I say I want, so that's a good measure. If you say you want $1 million, for example, well, and you're only earning 50,000 a year, well, pretty much that's a mismatch. So what do you need to do in order to get more around that? And sometimes we don't know. I get that, guys, and that's cool. Sometimes we don't know, but the first thing is awareness that it is possible that we're still running from programs that we learned when we were 0 to 7. And if that's so, and we have strengthened that, in order to make a new habit or a new way of going, then we have to make a habit, and we have to build it up and make it a stronger, if you like, elastic band. Overstretch that elastic band and start developing a new one. And you might say, oh yeah, but I don't know how to do that. I get that. You don't know how to do it yet. Sometimes you need some help, you need somebody else. So get a coach or a mentor, absolutely. Get somebody that can tap into it and see what you're not seeing and bring you just this step, because you can't see what you can't see yet. And when you can't see it, you just know that there's a discomfort. You don't know why, but you're stuck and you're not quite sure. I've been to some networking events just recently. Hey, Chelsea. And it was really... I work with people that are stuck in their business, but it was really interesting to me when I asked people to put their hand up and say, hey, is anyone here stuck in their business? No one did it, because they didn't want the social proof that would admit that they were stuck in their business, because they've got the inner dialogue, that inner bitch, remember, going on, going, you know better than that. However, when I said put your hand up and say, if you love your business, they did. Put your hand up and say, if you're getting sometimes a little bit frustrated with your business, they did. But they came and told me face to face later, actually, I'm really stuck in my business. So we have this shame and guilt that we have, that we've learned when we were really young here, and we bring it into adulthood, and it serves no purpose for us. So if that's true and we've shone a light on it and we've kind of looked at it, well, let's see what we can do to change that. Would that be cool? So what you have to do is awareness is number one. And number two, decide that you want to change something, and decide what that is that you want to change. If you don't know, get some help with it. Absolutely. And I know it's not always easy. So you decide that you want to change, and then you need to put the structure in place. Put some habits, reminders, whatever it is in place, and commit to it. You have to put the discipline into it till you make that a new pathway that will develop, that the old one will just be overstretched and obsolete and gone. But I really, really mean what I said in the beginning is, this is what's hijacking your own success. It's you getting in your own way, but you just don't realize. So if you can get out of your own way and actually have the success that you deserve and that you want, well then the choice is yours. So you make a decision. If you're stuck and you need some help with it, cool. Send me a private message or something. Let's have a chat. Let me help you to see where it is your stuckness is. And if things don't change now, well, what? You're going to be here in 12 months having the same issues, having the same problems, having the same conversations, and stuck in that drama cycle of poor me, poor me. You decide if you want to step out of that, or you decide if you want to stay there. So that's it for me. I trust that this has been of value to you, and really gives you something to think about in a different way, so that you can step out of that stuckness that you feel, where you're being hijacked, and your success is just being hijacked when you deserve so much more and so much success. And actually start making different decisions. They're not better, they're not good or bad, you're not doing anything wrong, it's purely how we're designed and programmed. And actually a good person to look at that is a guy called Edward Bernays, and how he manipulated marketing in a way to get a result for his client, who were cigarette companies, tobacco companies and things like that way back then. Fascinating to see how it's done. But we don't realize sometimes some of this stuff that's going on. But the 0 to 7 is the imprint years, is what we've filtered everything through up till now. Let's choose a different filter. So as I said, private message me, let me know, hey Carmel, I want to talk more about that because I'm a bit stuck. That's cool. Private message me, let me know that, and we can have a chat. So for now, it's bye from me.